Industrial Revolution, Part 4. Impact of Steam Power. An icon of the Industrial Revolution broke onto the scene in the early 1700s when Thomas Newcomen designed the prototype for the first time modern steam engine. Called the atmospheric steam engine, Newcomen's invention was originally applied to power the machines used to pump water out of mine shafts. In 1760s, Scottish engineer James Watt began tinkering with one of Newcomen's models, adding a separate water condenser that made it far more efficient. Watt later collaborated with Matthew Boulton to invent a steam engine with rotary motion and a key innovation that would allow steam power to spread across British industries, including flour industry, paper industry, cotton mills, iron works, distilleries, waterworks, and canals. Well, the steam engines were needed everywhere and they made great landmarks. Just as steam engines needed coal, steam power allowed miners to go deeper and extract more of this relatively cheap energy source. The demand for coal skyrocketed throughout the Industrial Revolution and beyond, as it would be needed to run not only the factories, as it would be needed to run not only the factories used to produce manufactured goods, but also the railroads and steamships used for transporting them. So steam engines were there in the navy, they were in the rail, the trains, they were in the factories, and it was a miraculous achievement, so to say. Transportation during the Industrial Revolution. Britain's road network, which had been relatively primitive prior to the industrialization, soon saw substantial improvements, and more than 2,000 miles of canals were in use across Britain by 1815. Great achievement. In early 1800s, Richard Trevithick debuted a steam-powered locomotive, and in 1830, similar locomotives started transporting freight and passengers between the industrial hubs of Manchester and Liverpool. By that time, steam-powered boats and ships were already in wide use, carrying goods along Britain's rivers and canals, as well as across the Atlantic to reach USA. Next, we talk about the banking and communication in the Industrial Revolution. In 1776, Scottish social philosopher Adam Smith, who is regarded as the founder of modern economics, published The Wealth of Nations. In it, Smith promoted an economic system based on free enterprise, the private ownership of means of production, and lack of government interference. Banks and industrial financiers soon rose to new prominence during this period, as well as a factory system dependent on owners and managers, A stock exchange was established in London in the 1770s. The New York Stock Exchange was founded in the early 1790s.